Well, hi, it's David Bateson here again at ItalianCar in another Fiat Panda. This one, just had to check which one it is by lifting up the bonnet and looking at the engine. And it's interesting, I thought I was driving around in a regular petrol engine 4-cylinder, but no, this one is actually the twin air. So much like the Alfa Romeo Mito and this model, the Panda, and I think also the Fiat Cinquecento, the new engine is a 2-cylinder twin, hence twin air. This one is the turbocharged version, generating 85 HP. Oh, here we go. There's the automatic gearbox. Really doesn't like going up slightly steep hills. So yeah, so it's we're sitting at 85 HP. That's 57 kilowatts. So you know, we're not in supercar territory here, but you know, ooh. Considering I thought I was driving a sort of a regular 4-cylinder, oh yes, well, there we go. It's telling me there's low fuel, so I'm going to have to fuel up. So the way that this model works is that you can, with the gearbox, it's got what's called a dual logic. There we go. You might, no, the engine's very, very quiet on these, so it's sometimes difficult to tell when you've turned the key whether the engine's running or not. Plus you've got the start-stop mechanism that switches the engine off when you put your foot on the brake and you're at a standstill. So yeah, it's got the dual logic gearbox, and I must say, not really warming to this gearbox, because I don't know, it just, like then on that little bit of a slope, you can't just drive it around without it complaining a little bit. Now you can override it. It's got sort of the little plus and minus shift on the gearbox that allows you to override, but it doesn't seem to want to do it. But apart from that, you know, I've actually really enjoyed having the Panda on test, and ironically, despite the fact that it's a small engine, it's just a 900cc, 0.9 of a litre engine. It sort of holds its own on the road. It's fine actually, and yeah, I mean, even when I've got it in auto, you sort of put your foot down at the lights and zip away, and I look in my mirror and, you know, left the cars behind. I'm not exactly burning rubber or anything, it's just sort of driving fast. What I have noticed is that the little consumption meter, and Fiat of course are very keen to help you to consume less fuel. Consumption is telling me that I'm currently doing 6.5 litres per 100 kilometres, and when I took delivery of the car a couple of weeks ago, that figure was more like about 5.8, 5.9, so clearly it's telling me I've got a bit of a lead foot. But I've just been driving it around relatively normally. I mean, putting it through its paces a little bit, I suppose, but not a lot. So I don't know who had the car before me, but they might have been out to see what mileage they can get. There is a little button on here called Eco, it's marked Eco, and as soon as you press it, you can press it while you're driving along, that's fine. Basically it knocks everything down a peg, so it almost feels like you've got the brakes on, and what it does is it just helps you to not use up too much fuel. So I haven't really had that Eco switch on very much since I've been driving it. We've discussed this in the previous video in terms of how it stacks up. We've had a couple of florists drive the car for us because we thought it might be a good car for florists, because it's got a bit of room and it's got a bit of headroom here, which is good. And look, I like it. It's one of these things where it's going to be either a car that you like or a car that you hate, I'm afraid. It's not going to be anywhere in the middle. But I've quite liked driving along. It has sort of grown on me a little bit, and Kids seem to quite like it as well. We can fit 2 adults and 2 kids in here, no problem whatsoever. And there's a little bit of room in the boot. It does come with a tom-tom. Just up here on the dash, there's a bit of space for a tom-tom. Although, you know what, I'm probably just a fan of the Google Maps thing, and when you plug your iPhone or whatever phone you've got, as long as it's a smartphone, into the system, you sync it using Bluetooth, then you can just use your Google Maps that way instead of using the TomTom. I just find the TomTom a little hard to work with, to be honest. What else is there? Yeah, it syncs great for phone calls and everything. And music, if you've got any music on your phone, it's all pretty straightforward. What else is there? Seats are very comfy, actually. They've been designed that way. There's some sort of special fabric. And if you jump on ItalianCar, we'll put all of the technical specs on there so you can have a look and see exactly what it is, but it makes it sort of more breathable. But certainly in the Australian climate, it's a good thing to have. Yeah, and look, I think it's fairly reasonably priced. I mean, the model we're driving around in at the moment, you can get for between, depending on spec and the like, it's either 20,500 list price or 22,500 list price. You might be able to negotiate something on that. It comes with a 3-year warranty, and they throw in the roadside assist for that period of time as well. What else is there to say? No, I think that's about it, really. I think it's quite a funky looking car. We had somebody stop us on one of the test drives. The lady stopped us and said how lovely she thought the car was. So, you know, it is something that's going to appeal, and I think it's going to work quite well. Fiat Chrysler, again, I think I mentioned this before, are busy ramping up the number of dealerships they have, so just in average terms you'll be a lot closer to a Fiat dealership. And today we've seen a couple of Fiat Cinquecentos on the road. They used to be pretty rare, but now there's more and more of them. Yeah, so look, that's about it. The only word of warning I'd have is that if you're thinking of using the voice recognition system on the phone, don't worry about it. I think Apple's Siri is a little bit better than the one built in here. So I'd be inclined to use that. Mind you, I did ring somebody up completely by accident the other day, and that was on the iPhone using voice activation, so I don't think any of this stuff is flawless these days. Yeah, so that's about it. So jump on the ItalianCar main site, italiancar.com.au, and we'll have full specs up on there pretty soon if they're not there now. And there are a couple of other videos we've put together just to give you an idea as to what the car's like, just in a quick sort of 5 to 7 minute snapshot. And when we get the next car, we're getting one more Alfa Mito, I think, on test. We'll give that a bit of a drive and let you know what we think of it. So, see you next time.